couple of them, I guess, but both named Gordon, my father. That's where my interest in racing came from, and yeah, the reason I probably went down the path I've been down. And Gordon Cunningham, who I was lucky enough to work for at Carramore as well.
Gordon Calder is obviously a really well-known name, not only here in New Zealand, but also around Australia as well. But, you know, a lot of people don't follow what their fathers do. What actually, you know, piqued your interest, and what was it in what he was doing that really intrigued you?
When I was younger, I was always really interested in the horses. I, you know, read the blood horse and knew all the pedigrees and followed the racing results, but I never rode or did anything hands-on, and probably thought it was just a hobby at that stage. But I was quite fortunate. I went to the English Easter sale with Dad, and Gordon Cunningham saw me there and said, oh, if you know he's young and keen and wants to learn, why doesn't he come and work at Carramore one summer? And it just happened. It was my first year at uni, and I needed a summer job and some money. And at that stage, my motivation was just to, I always wanted to breed mares myself, and my plan was to go and do something else and you know, have a few brood mares. So I thought I'd probably help to know the difference between the mouth and the tail, and off I went to Carramore.
And Gordon Cunningham, well, I mean, he is so well known too, of course, in terms of, you know, what he's done with Carramore Stud, but I think he's probably best known as a horseman. I mean, he's a typical true Irish horseman, isn't he?
Yeah, and I mean, that's where I was so fortunate. Like, I was green as grass when I started, but he really took a lot of time to teach me literally from the bottom up, but also even from day one kind of thought about what I needed to be learning and took a real interest. And that's something that, as I got to travel and do things, it really reinforced how lucky I was to learn from Gordon, because as you say, he's just a true horseman, and I think I picked up some great skills from him to begin with. And from there, because he'd always taken an interest in me, whenever I had job changes or opportunities come up, there was always two people I spoke to, my dad and Gordon Cunningham. So yeah, I guess in that sense he's been a real mentor to me. And now in my current job, it's great that we've been able to work together and do business together. And Snazzy Tavi's a foal share that Gordon bred, so that was it's been really satisfying to see her do so well on the track.
And you now, with what you're doing, I mean, Gordon always says a lot of it is about the people, and I've watched him, the way he talks to his staff and trying to always encourage and educate. That's something that would rub off on you too, with the people that you're working with, the younger people coming through too.
And, I've been way luckier than most to do the flying start, and I've had a lot of people really help me along the way. But Gordon, as I said, he's always been the kind of person that I've come back to, and probably on the people side of it, where I've been so lucky in my later life is coming back to New Zealand to do what I do now. My working life had been outside New Zealand, so I didn't know a lot of the clients, and in that sense my dad's been a massive help to me, because he's been in the breeding industry here, everyone knows him, and he opened a lot of doors and introduced me to people, and thankfully a lot of our clients have done business with Dad through the years. And I started with a head start compared to a lot of people, because generally they knew Dad, and that started the conversation, and they were always very welcoming to me.
Here at Cambridge you can see it's a people business, isn't it? And that's where the influences that young people have from the outset makes such a difference to how they then operate as a professional.
Particularly in my job being in sales, it's more about the people, I think. But with Gordon at Carramore, it was something Gordon really instilled in me, is that no matter what you do, whether it's sales or admin or whatever, the horse is at the heart of it all, and you need to understand what makes that horse tick, what it takes to raise them, and obviously how they go into training. So I guess the two of them have kind of balanced out different parts, and I've been very lucky to have that, particularly since I've come back to Cambridge.